Hi everyone, it's Tawny. I was scrolling through YouTube, I think it was today, like earlier today, and saw Teresa is Dead do a video called the 21 Questions Makeup Tag Challenge, what have you, that was started by Allie Glines. I will link both of their videos down below. They are really incredible women, like very good at makeup, love talking about makeup. They're both very different people, like total opposites, but they're both very interesting to listen to, and I really like both of their personalities. They're just very funny, very creative, very interesting to watch when they do their makeup and apply it and things like that. So we're going to jump into this because there's 21 questions and that's a lot of questions. And I have a feeling it might be a long video. So grab your popcorn, grab your Dr. Pepper, grab whatever else you like to do or eat while you are watching YouTube videos, and let's get into it. So the first question is, what is the oldest makeup product in your collection? So I was like looking at my makeup shelf, like I have a giant shelf full of makeup, and the first thing I saw was the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. This is probably the oldest thing I have in the collection that I have now. In terms of like what I have had in the past, this is definitely not the oldest, but it's fairly old. It's probably one of those products that like I should declutter because it's probably not any good, but it hasn't started smelling weird, so I'm holding on to it. And I'm going to keep using it till it either breaks me out or it smells bad. The second question, what is your most recent makeup purchase? My most recent purchase was this bag of Walmart goodies. I have a new e.l.f. setting spray. I have some new Wet n Wild eyeshadow palettes, some new things that you're going to see in some videos, so stay tuned for that. The other one that I had gotten was actually bought by my boyfriend. This is the ABH Iced Out Highlighter, and it is so pretty. And I really like it. Like, I've used it a couple times so far, and I'm, like, totally in love. There's just something about the formula of their highlighters that, like, really, like, looks so good on the skin. I just really like it. Probably one of my favorite highlighter formulas. Even though it is a little bit pricier, I feel like it is worth the money to get something like that. Number 3, what is the first makeup product you ever used? So I think the first makeup product I ever used was an eyeliner, and I'm pretty sure it was an Avon. It was the eyeliner that, it kind of looks like a kohl eyeliner, like it's a pencil. I'm pretty sure that was one of the first ones, or it was the retractable eyeliner, but I'm pretty sure it was from Avon, which is so funny to think about because I don't use eyeliner in my makeup, but I started using makeup in like middle school-ish, and that was when like being an emo kid was like the coolest thing you could do and be. And my best friend was very emo, like down to the way she acted and everything. Like at the time, my best friend, not my current best friend. But so I kind of like wanted to fit in with her. So I fit in with that whole like emo thing by wearing the black eyeliner, which like was a decent good look. I'm not even gonna like bash it or anything. I'm not gonna go into that like TikTok Gen Z hating on all of us millennials or whatever you want to call us, because like that was the bomb. And I am not apologizing for my eyeliner or my side bangs in any way, or my side part. Number 4, what is a makeup trend that you used to love but now you hate? I would probably have to say the harsh contour. That's something that I've always been trying to get to and trying to do with myself, something that I've always tried to like implement on my own face, but not something that I've ever really like been able to completely do. Like it always looks a little bit more natural, which I found is like the better way to go about things. So I'd rather have it like be a natural look than be something that's like so obviously fake. What is a makeup trend that you used to hate but now you love? I would probably have to say the whole eyebrow look. That's kind of something that I was like a little bit hesitant about like embracing, honestly. But, and I don't mean like crazy eyebrows. I kind of think like where you do the like exactly how my eyebrow looks aside from all the random hairs and stuff, but like the basic shape, but like not to the point that it doesn't look natural. Like I used to not really like the laminate brows or the soap brows or that kind of trend, but now I've started to like get on board with that because it shows off your like true eyebrows. Or if you don't have the eyebrows, it makes it look more realistic than like the block eyebrows that were like so shaded in that they didn't look natural. So that's something I've definitely come to really like. I've tried to do it on myself, but I think I have too thick of eyebrows to like really do it that well, but it's still something I'm like trying to do every now and then. What is your favorite step in your makeup routine? I used to think it was putting on foundation because I love covering all the discoloration and all the bumps and marks on my face. But I think anymore it's become my eyeshadow phase, like doing my eyeshadows and things like that. Mainly because I watched a lot of Julia Mazzucato videos. She has stepped away from YouTube if you're not a fan. She does still have videos up, so definitely go check her out. I will link her down below. She's really talented when it comes to doing makeup, and she's only had her channel for like 4 years, so it's kind of incredible, like the fact that she's been, doing so well since she started then, and she's so young at the same time. She had started doing an eyeshadow collection, like where she was using all of her palettes to really see what palettes she should keep in her collection and what she wasn't using and what needed to be decluttered. And it really inspired me to kind of curate my collection and get like palettes and single shadows that I knew I was going to use on a regular basis, more so than just hoarding makeup just to have it. So that's definitely become a stage that I've like really been excited to do. It's a little bit harder when I do like an everyday look because I go for the same neutral brown look, but because of my work, I don't like to do something so extravagant because it's just not, it doesn't really fit in well with my occupation. So I like to do stuff like that when I'm not working, but I don't always get the chance to do my makeup when I'm not working in like a crazy way. So it's something I definitely want to keep doing in the future. What is a makeup product you can't live without? That would have to be foundation for sure. Like that's just something that like I have to have on hand. I have to take with me. That's like the first thing I go to grab if I'm traveling in any way. Like even if I'm dog sitting across town from my mom's boss, like I always try and make sure that I have some sort of foundation in some capacity, because I feel like if you get a good enough foundation, you don't need a whole lot of makeup to go over top of that or to help cover it, because the foundation will be good enough to like, it'll cover what you need it to cover and do what it needs to do to help you with the look you're trying to achieve that day or something. You know what I mean? What sparked your love for makeup? I honestly don't know what sparked my love for makeup. I liked makeup for a long time, and my sister had started watching YouTube videos, and she was like, you need to watch these. They talk about makeup. They show you how to apply makeup. Like, they're very in-depth reviews, tell you what good makeup to buy. And she had been kind of helping me like pick out certain things. Like, we really started with like NYX Cosmetics, which is so weird because NYX is a brand that I kind of like pass over now. But at the time it was like a very popular like brand to go toward. So I started watching YouTube videos and just seeing people create looks that were like so beautiful and like really, I don't want to say inspiring because I don't really feel like they were inspiring, but they were just so pretty that I was like, I want to start doing that, and I feel like I can do that. So that kind of like pushed me to do even more and be better at putting on my makeup and like look better in general. At least like in my eyes look better. Not that I like needed to look better, but it was like for me to make me feel better about the way I look. What is the worst makeup look you've ever done? I don't have pictures of it because obviously like if it's a terrible look, you're not going to take pictures of it. You're not going to like it. But I had done like a face, like the look with my face makeup and stuff was very light coverage and not what I wanted. And I'm pretty sure the foundation that I had used was too light for my skin, so it looked very ghostly. Like it was giving me like James Charles vibes, like with the Scary Mary or something like that. It was like giving me like a really bright white cast, and my eyeshadow was just like very muddy green. Like it just wasn't working out. Like my whole look was just like awful, and I'm pretty sure I like took it off right away because I was just like so not happy with it. I'm sure everybody has a terrible look that they've done, whether it be like a mediocre look and now they're doing like super accelerated advanced looks, but like there's always some sort of look that's like your least favorite or one that doesn't look nearly as good as what you can do now. Let's see. What is your favorite makeup look you've ever done? That's a hard question to answer because I feel like I always like the way my makeup looks. I feel like anything where I'm having like a good eye makeup day and where my face looks like it's like covered and I'm not having any like acne show through and I have this like nice glow to my skin, that's always something that like makes me feel like my makeup looks good. I don't really have any looks in particular, but lately my makeup has looked fairly good, like a lot, because I found what I like and the products that I like to use, and I know kind of like what kind of a look I'm going for, so I know that I can like create that on myself. I don't really know how to explain it. What is your favorite drugstore makeup product? My favorite drugstore makeup product is the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage Foundation from Maybelline. I'm pretty sure I already said that, but I feel like it needs to be said. This is my favorite drugstore makeup product. This is my favorite makeup product, and I really freaking like this, like, so much. Like, it is so, like, the coverage it gives is so good. The, like, lasting effect it has is so good. Like, it lasts through the rain, the winter, the snow, like, all of it, like the heat, everything. And it just looks so nice and fresh that it like works on every skin type. The next one is, what is your favorite splurge makeup product? I would probably have to say eyeshadow palettes. I've bought a couple higher end makeup palettes lately and I don't regret them. I have one that I regret, but only because I don't support the brand that I bought from anymore. But I like to buy eyeshadow palettes from higher end brands just to test the quality, just to see kind of like what the hype's all about, basically. Not so much that like the color scheme is anything like spectacular, but that would probably have to be something that I'm like definitely okay with splurging on. What is your most repurchased makeup product? So that's a hard question because I don't really go through makeup a whole lot. I would have to say either setting spray or this Milani Prep Set and Go translucent setting powder or transparent face powder. This is probably the one that I've gone through the most. This is my second one, and I've only gone through the first, like the first one was still usable to a point. I don't think I still have it anymore. I think it was just old, so I decluttered it, but I was hitting pan on that, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a new one. So I would say face powders are probably the ones that I go through the most, mainly because I get so oily that I need to use a lot of powder. So let's see. What is your earliest makeup memory? I don't really have an earliest makeup memory. I remember doing my makeup a couple years ago when I lived at home, probably in high school, and I had used the Maybelline Fit Me. It was like this big. It was the, I don't know how to explain it. What is that called? Okay, I have one right here. Let's see. It was the stick foundation. Okay, I was using this as reference, but it was a stick foundation, and I remember using that to put on my foundation, and it worked fine. It looked really good. It gave me the coverage that I wanted at the time. Like, if I didn't think it was giving me enough coverage, I would have switched to something else. But I just remember using that, and I always used this one Avon mascara. It was purple, because a friend of mine who was a little bit weird, like a little bit more weird than I considered to myself to be, she would always use like rainbow mascaras, like different colored mascaras, and she would always do like a very bright eye look, and that was like her thing, which was not my thing, but I like aspired to be like that. Like, she was a very like inspiring person, and I remember getting this. It was like this big, very small. The brush was like the size of the tube, so it was like, it was good quality and it worked for me at the time, but definitely not a product I would use now, especially not in purple. But I would always use that like crazy just because like I like the shade purple and I thought it looked good, but it clearly is not. That's probably makeup memory I don't want to remember, but it was what it was, and I don't know. It was that age. I mean, I graduated high school like 7 years ago, so like that tells you anything. What is your favorite place to shop for makeup? Oh my gosh, if you guys that are watching my videos that have watched them for a while, like, it's very obvious. I love shopping for makeup at CVS. Like, I go to Ulta and I go to Walmart and I go to like Walgreens, Rite Aid, those types of pharmacies, but not nearly as often as CVS. I have one CVS in my area that I go to the most. The other one's not in a very good part of town, so I skip that one. Like, I've only been to it like 3 times, but and the makeup selection's not good there, but I go to this main one and I just love walking down the aisles, looking at makeup, looking at what's new. I always like to look at the tops of the shelves where they keep like the overstock things and see like what new collections are there. Like any new Wet n Wild collections always seem to end up there first before they go on like the main end cap shelf where the Wet n Wild usually is kept. So I always like looking at those and seeing like what's new, what collections have come out, like what does CVS have in stock today? Like, because they don't always have the newest collections in stock, whereas Ulta usually does, or sometimes Walmart does. So it's always nice to see like what CVS has. And I remember a couple months ago when they first got Flower Beauty, I was like so ecstatic because it was like something so new and like something that CVS really needed, because I felt like CVS sometimes puts out like crappy makeup and then people buy it thinking it's good makeup. So it's nice to see like a whole brand that's worth picking up, and people see Drew Barrymore's name and they're like, oh yeah, I want to buy this. And then you know that they're getting good makeup because it's a good brand. Like I've never had any issues with any of their products. They're all very nice. They're all very good for your skin too. So that's something I really like about them as well. What is the most underrated makeup product you own? That is a hard question. I would honestly have to say the Milani Prep Set and Go powder. I feel like I talk about this all the time, but not many people talk about this powder, and for being from the drugstore, it works so well. The only problem is I have a really hard time finding it now. This one's probably been on CVS's shelf for a couple months, so I have to be a little bit careful. It like has some pilling on it, but it doesn't really bother me, and I haven't had any breakouts from it, so I'm still going to keep using it. But it works so well at setting the skin. It's a very basic face powder, I think. It doesn't like overly erase all the oil on your face. It's not going to help clear pores or anything, but it's going to set your makeup and make it last a little bit longer throughout the day than what if you weren't going to use it would. Let's see. Where are we at now? What is the most overrated makeup product you own? That is a hard question to answer. I would have to say the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. It looks like this. I am like almost out of this, and I'm not going to buy any more whenever I'm through with this because I don't want to support this brand. But I do think this is a good product, but it's talked about so much that it's kind of become a little bit like monotonous, and it's kind of like, let's move on to something better and find something, that we like more that is from a better company. What is a discontinued makeup product you wish would make a comeback? Ooh, that's a hard question because I don't really have any makeup that's been discontinued. I do have one product that I heard was discontinued, and it's the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. Somebody had told me it was discontinued, and I bought like 50 of them, bought like 3 or 4. But I bought a crap ton of them, and then I kept seeing them everywhere. So I think I have like another spare, but this one's basically full. So I'm not totally sure. And the girl that had said this was like being taken off is from Australia. So I'm not sure if like in Australia it's being removed from shelves or not. But this is one that like, I hope it stays around for a long time because it's just such a good product. Where do you go for makeup inspiration? For makeup inspiration, I sometimes go to Instagram. I find that there's a lot of people that post makeup looks that are very like crazy, but like in a good way, like very so different, not makeup looks you'd expect to see, not things you do on an everyday basis, not makeup you'd wear to like work or, to school or anything, stuff that you would wear for like special occasion, SFX makeup, things like that. I really like going to Instagram. Twitter's also a good place for that because you get a lot of people sharing other things and retweeting and like calling people out for like their good makeup and things like that and like really supporting people. I know that Pinterest is a good place to go, but I don't really go to Pinterest for makeup looks because I find the same thing. Or it's very like mainstream makeup looks, like very TikTok-y, like made for videos to get views, but not actually to like look good. So I don't always go there. What do you hope to see less of in makeup's future? I hope to see a lot less of people comparing one another and like, or comparing makeup brands. Like, I feel like we're getting to the point that there's so much oversaturation in the makeup community and in the beauty community. And even in like the, whole everyone making makeup industry kind of thing. I don't really know how to explain it, but there's just so much makeup being put out that there's always going to be makeup that overlaps, that might be the same thing. Like, I feel like at one point when purples were the big thing, there were like 3 brands that came out with the same type of product at the same time. And it's like these brands aren't copying one another. They're thinking of these things months in advance, preparing them, getting them ready, and then pushing them out. And it just so happens that they're all at the same time. Yet everyone wants to compare them and see which one's to blame, which one is copying the other. And that kind of brings me into the whole, like, I don't want to see any more brands like copying other brands. Like, I know I support like brands like Alter Ego and Makeup Revolution and brands that like are known for basically copying an exact, like making not a dupe, but like a cheaper version, like a knockoff. And I kind of would like to see less of that. Like, I know the point of having those is so that people who can't afford the more expensive ones can have those. But at the same time, you could make your own type of palette with the same type of colors, but have your own unique background for the palette, or your own kind of, you know, like pick a theme and pick some sort of like, you know, whenever you do the commercial or the ad for it, have it be something unique that like sets you apart, so it doesn't seem like you're copying from another brand, whereas you're making it your own. So that way people will support you more because it feel like it's its own release and not just a copy from someone else. And the last question is, what do you hope to see more of in makeup's future? I would like to see more inclusion, but more so with people who do between basic looks and very like wild out there looks. I'd like to see stuff that like all makeup looks are good. None of them are different from any others. I'd like to see more collaborations between YouTubers. And I know that that's kind of hard because of the pandemic. But like even anything from like doing a video collab where they do a video like this and you tag that person in it and you ask each other questions, or you do something over FaceTime or things like that. Just something that like brings us together, because I feel like the beauty community has been so like, we like to support each other, but at the same time, there's always that cattiness of, I'm better than you, my sales are doing better, I'm putting out better makeup, I'm reviewing this makeup product in a better way than you are. Things that are very like, everyone's going up against each other. And I kind of would like to see less of that. So I'm hoping to see more like of everyone joining together and just doing this all for the love of makeup. So those are my 21 answers to 21 questions. I hope you liked this video. If you have any comments, definitely put them down below. I'd love to know what some of your answers are to these questions, especially some of the ones like, what's your oldest makeup product? What are some, you know, your oldest memories of doing your makeup? Because those are very nostalgic and definitely help connect us to makeup and remind us of where we started from with makeup and how we got to this point and how like we progressed from then into now. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell down below so you get notified on when I update. It's been a little bit slow lately just because things have been a little hectic in my life. It was Valentine's Day yesterday, and I had a really good weekend with my boyfriend, so I didn't do any uploading, didn't do any filming, things like that over the weekend, because I just wanted to spend time with him and like just be the two of us, well, and my cat Chad. But I'm hoping to get back into it, you know, in the next couple of days and weeks and start doing some new fun videos for you guys. So stay tuned for that. I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.